because of black people, because before the Indians got settled, you know, people from West Africa, the currents and Latin America, only they knew about that. So that's why even nowadays, along the Illinois Mississippi River, they discovered caves with omelets, heads, you know, big old African statues with big noses. There's a whole bunch of those along the Mississippi River, dating back to like 800 BC. They was here long before, right? Jack, you know about that, right?
I was going to ask you, when did they discover that?
Huh?
When did they discover that? What state was it in along that river?
It was Illinois, along the Mississippi River. But then they found...
The Mississippi River don't flow to Illinois.
Mississippi?
Does it? No.
Mississippi River, it goes, it travels all the way past Wisconsin, all the way down this, like, down south. You know that river, Mama?
Destiny, no.
Yeah, Mississippi.
But when did they find them stone heads?
No,
Like in the 1930s or whatever. The 1930s, but obviously been more discovered since then. But on top of that, all the paintings, like the Malians, got like dark hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's like too much evidence not to be right.
I mean, they definitely was a dark people if I get to that part. How big are these stone heads?
Like the big old stupid stone heads.
Because the old Mex, they were like 5 feet tall, at least, I think.
They stand up like that with the big old heads. And their nose obviously is wide. They got the African, you know, like jewelry on them. It's a stone statue.
How far did you say they traced them back? I know you said the 1930s it was discovered, but you said what, the 1800s?
Like before, like the natives now, they was the descendants from the West African that first traveled to America. They first set foot. But obviously throughout the years, you know, it's a big old lie. They say that the Mayflower was the first settlement. The Mayflower was the first settlement. Once a lie that they attempted 3 times shots selling the land. The slaves always turned on them, rode the Indians. The Indians always kept them off.
I want to scoot closer because I can't really hear you. Look, as far as the Olmec heads, real quick, this is what I think. You know, the knot culture. Now, the knot culture in Senegal, they don't, supposedly they don't go back as far as the Olmec has. You know, the Olmec has are 3,000 years old.
It was like 2 weeks after.
The knot culture goes back to like, I think, what, 500 BC supposedly. But when you look at some of their art, and I got this on Facebook, it's a video that I saved because I noticed the similarity between, like, you know how the Olmec heads look with the helmets and then the attachment on the side, or the little handle on the side next to the ear. I'm looking at this art picture of a group of knot people depicted in this art in this relic. When you look at the helmets that's carved, it look exactly like the Olmec helmets. So I think it's the same thing. But the weird thing is, that means there got to be something wrong with the carbon dating. You know what I mean? They would have to go back further than that, much further than that, or the Olmec heads is not that old. You get what I'm saying? For the similarity to be that fucking striking. Like, look, this is a coincidence, but it's the truth. This next blog that I was going to do is about Malian history. So I read all the way back to Mansa, Sundiata, Keita. I ain't going to say everything right now, but I got as far as Mansa, Musa. Yeah, he was one of them. But look, okay, Sundiata, Keita, I ain't going to go through his whole story as far as his dad and all of that, but I'm just going to say basically when he died in 1255, he had one biological son by the name of Wali. He became the next Mansa. He ruled for about 4 years. It was a civil war because it was 2 other sons that Sundiata Keita adopted. One Wadi, the other one Khalifa. But he also had a brother. He had a brother who was supposed to get the throne. But, you know, when they instituted the whole little constitution, Kuru Khan Fuga and all that, it was a rule that, like, the blood heir, the oldest son, would have to get the throne to be Mansa and all of that. So after his biological son, there was another dude named Wali that took the throne. But that created like a fucking, excuse my language. That created like a civil war between his other brother Khalifa, but also with their uncle, Abu Bakari. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a blood heir too. He was like the next in line to be the oldest alive at that time. You know what I'm saying? So then anyway, after the Khalifa, then after Khalifa,
you start the conversation, ain't never gonna be over with.
his brother, Abu Bakari, for about 10 years up until 1285. And then after he died, another guy named Mansa Sakura. He became Mansa for about 15 years after that. Supposedly he did a lot of military conquest and all of that. Then after him, well, since I'm recording, I'll go ahead and keep talking. Then since after him, it was Mansa Gale. So he would be like the nephew of Sundiata Keita. So he was Sundiata Keita's sister's son, a lady that they called Sheikh Auntie Diop. And her other name is KanKan. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so he only reigned for about 5 years. Then after him, his son, Mansa Muhammad Gale. Then after dude, there was another guy named Abu Bakr II. Now this is where it gets freaking interesting, right? He became Mansa in 310 after the last guy died. Only for a year. This the dude that everybody based this theory on, as far as like, you know, the West Africans coming here to America before Christopher Columbus. This is what I found out in doing this research. Because I believe it is true. West Africans did come here. But like the theory about the Malians, I question it, and here's why. Oh, wait a minute. This is going to be interesting.
Y'all supposed to be watching y'all cartoons over there. Go watch the TV.
He only reigned for a year. Somehow he was convinced that there's land, possibly America. Everybody that adhered to this theory, this is what they believe, that possibly America existed across the Atlantic Ocean, not the Indies. So he wanted to explore that. So he basically gave up his title as being the Mansa. At the time, his visor, or you know what a visor is?
Yeah, advice to the king.
Say what?
Yeah, like give advice to the king or whoever in charge.
Yeah, they like the second under the king in charge, almost. Basically of everything, the economics, all the activity. So Mansa Musa was a vizier at first. They call him a regent, as far as what I read.
I need to take a minute.
Some telling me not to go ahead and speak this out. I'm gonna go ahead and do it though. Because I saved my notes and everything. This is what I think. So, and why y'all making me nervous? I'm crazy with my eye.
Talk, really? Take it all day.
I'm gonna make it quick. The West Africans did come here, but it was not